Hello and welcome everyone to Copy and Paste, the clean and family-friendly Reddit reading podcast. This is the 5th episode of r/EntitledParents, where the parents think they own the world. And don't forget, if you like this podcast, then it would be greatly appreciated for you to like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me. Okay, let's get started. The first post is made by user/RCRMoon. My son rides the bus with a very entitled, unruly girl that lies about everything and bullies people. The bus driver has my son, where he can see him to prevent it on the bus. Her mother is just as bad. We do live in a rural area, so the bus stops are spread out. Entitled girl, as I will call the girl, lives just far enough off. Her mum drives her. On with the nonsense. We are down at the bus stop, in my car because it's raining. Normally we walk, but who wants to go to school stoked? Passing time by playing I Spy and games on my phone. Here comes Entitled Mother. She spots my car. Entitled Girl gets out and beelines to my car. Doors are locked. She runs back to Entitled Mother's car and loudly complains she can't get in. No, I'm not letting her in either. Did it once, she trashed my car. She was rude, never again. So, you need to let my daughter in. No, I don't. Some people have things to do and can't sit around all day. Some people have jobs but still make sure their kids get on the bus. Go away. And then Entitled Mother trying to reach through the crack window. Open this door right now. Entitled Girl wants to sit in your car. I need my nails done. I can't wait here. Nope. Not my kid, not my problem. Just get in your car. It's raining. At this point, I started closing the window and she jerked her hand back. She did not get in her car, but decided to start hitting mine, screaming about her self-importance and me needing to understand her daughter is always right. No, I did not call the police. No need. The third kid at our stop is a sheriff's officer's son. We have a deal. I watch his son in the morning, he gets mine home safe in the afternoon. He pulls up to Entitled Mother beating my car. Entitled Girl screaming she's gonna die of embarrassment now that people see her mother's car. The officer says, Entitled Mother, why are you beating Opie's car? It's raining, go sit in yours. I unlock the doors for his son to get in. You see that? She wanted the Entitled Girl in, but yeah, your son didn't even ask and she let him go in. She's disrespectful of important people's time. You are responsible for your child, not OP. She can decline access to her vehicle if she wants to. Get in your car or I'm calling my sergeant to authorize an impound, because you will go to jail for attempted destruction of OP's car and harassment. Entitled Mother sulked back to her car and the bus pulled up. Took my big umbrella out, got the boys on the bus, Entitled Mother drove off before the bus closed the stop sign, so the officer stopped her for that violation. I went home chuckling. That mother was crazy. The second post is made by user/AngelniLT. My brother Martin, male 36, and his wife Leia, female 32, have a daughter, female 5, Ivy. I have a huge problem with food. I am lactose and gluten intolerant, and I'm also on a huge diet because I have diabetes. Well, we celebrated my grandpa's, male 75, birthday last weekend, and the party included small family circle, about 12 people. My grandma cooked lunch, and I baked the cake and prepared some snack. I also prepared a small plate of food for myself, and my mom brought me one portion of glucose/lactose/sugar-free cake. So we had a lunch, and we put the snack on the table, and started to cut the cake, and I set mine on the plate aside. We were talking, laughing, and Ivy was running around the table and picking everything she wanted. She was picking from my plate of stuff, suitable for me, so I took it aside and where she couldn't reach it. She forgot it quite quickly. Well, the problem started when she noticed my cake had small rows on the top. She took a fork and started to eat it. I told her I can cut her own piece of cake from my grandpa's cake, but she wanted mine. I told her she can't have it, and she ran away crying and went to Leia. Leia came to me and asked me if I could give her the cake, and I explained why I couldn't do it. I went to the toilet, and when I came back, I found Ivy sitting on my brother's lap and feeding him her my cake. I was fuming and told him she ate my only piece of cake, and I have almost nothing left. I was pissed because I told them no and left to the kitchen. Leia followed me and told me to stop making drama out of a piece of cake and that I'm messing up the party. She also told me she saw me taking my plate away from Ivy and that I'm a selfish jerk. That was insane. That person had diabetes and that was the only piece of cake that person could have had. Like, if somebody stole my cake, I mean, you don't want to know what would happen. The third post is made by user/Callan Amelia. I want to state clearly that this did not happen to me, but to a friend in a state that has adopted a set of stand your ground laws. This was posted with his explicit permission, though I will have to redact some details due to this still being an ongoing case. I know this will probably be buried in you or get removed, but I just wanted to share something that happened today that really makes you appreciate the term trigger discipline. I won't bother with the cast, as it should be fairly obvious what type of people are involved, judging by the title. A friend of mine was out and about with his girlfriend shopping for groceries, clothes, and some new utensils. My friend and his girlfriend stop at a store to pick up some clothes, some for themselves and some for his girlfriend's niece, who is all but 2 years and is having a birthday in 2 days. After finding the clothes that both him and his girlfriend want for themselves and his girlfriend's niece, they were walking up to the checkout when, according to my friend, they heard a woman screech, "You filthy..." bad word. I'll just call this, "You filthy woman. You can't wear those kinds of clothes in public." This made them both stop and turn around to see an obese, middle-aged woman with the stereotypical Karen haircut that was dragging along a poor kid who looked like he was wearing hand-me-downs from several generations before, while the mother was wearing what happened to be a fancy dress that looked horrible on her, according to my friend, jewelry, and had enough makeup on her face to put a Barbie doll that's been dunked in wax to shame. My friend didn't like that this woman called his girlfriend a bad woman. He simply said, "Lady, don't use that word to describe my girlfriend. You shouldn't be using that sort of language around your kid. Besides, what she decides to wear is her choice alone. Now kindly leave us alone." The mother screeched, "I am a God-fearing, God-worshipping woman and your elder. You have to listen to me." My friend's girlfriend made the mistake of saying that they might have heard her out if she'd be nice and calm about it and not yelling like a banshee on crack. This, not surprisingly, didn't sit well with the mother in the slightest, which then caused her to start shouting about how that as their superior, and because they were younger than her and less disciplined than her, that they needed to listen to her, and that her precious baby didn't deserve to see a trashy woman wearing a bad word clothes, and that they would taint his mind. This in turn pissed both of them off, but they just decided to drop the subject altogether instead of needing to fuel this dumpster fire. They walk away after they heard the mother sputtering and yelling about how my friend's girlfriend was a bad influence to a precious child, and how they would both, and I quote, "be sent to hell one way or another." The last comment put him on edge, and rightly so. After checking out, and with their cheerful moods dampened, they both were on their way to my friend's car when they both heard, "Sweetie, get in the car. Mommy has some problems to deal with." They both rolled their eyes and continued on their way to my friend's car until they heard, "I'll cut those clothes off you myself, you filthy sinners," by the distinctive voice of the mother that they hoped they had seen the last of. My friend turned around and saw the woman hobbling over with a knife in her hand, with the blade flipped out, yelling at them the whole time. My friend immediately tells his girlfriend to call the police as he yells at her to stop walking towards them with the knife. When she doesn't stop, he once again yells at her to stop and please put the knife away, and at that, nobody has to get hurt. When she still doesn't walk away, my friend drews concealed carry out from his waistband and once more shouts at the woman to just walk away, and that he doesn't want to use his firearm. He borderline begged her to not make him have to pull the trigger, that he didn't want her kid to lose his mother. The mother screeched that she would get him arrested for drawing a dangerous weapon on a law-abiding person that was doing God's work, and quickly hobbled away, much to his relief. His girlfriend came out from behind a nearby car and handed the phone to him so he could explain what happened. He let the operator know that he was a lawful concealed carrier and that he had just drew his weapon on a person that wished him and his girlfriend bodily harm. Following the operator's instructions, he described the time, place, and the vehicles that were around him, and set his firearm on the trunk of his car, and both him and his girlfriend stepped away from the trunk of his car. When the police arrived, they detained my friend. Detain does not mean arrest. He was just put in the back of the cruiser while the police sorted things out. No handcuffs were involved and no rights were read. And they both gave the responding officers their side of the story and pointed out the security cameras outside. They confiscated my friend's firearm, a standard procedure for incidents like these, and asked them both to give a statement at the police station. They agreed, and my friend was even complimented later by an officer for not being hasty and showing exceptional trigger discipline. He has not gotten his firearm back, and most likely will not receive it back until this whole case is sorted out. But he then told me that losing his firearm for the time being is preferred over having to potentially kill someone over something as stupid as clothing. I'll let you fine folks know any updates that might happen if my friend is willing to talk about it. Thanks for hearing me out. If you read through this entire event, I just really thought that this was a shining example to what problems can happen when entitlement and what's probably mental health issues mixed. And I'm sorry, I think I just got exhausted at the end from talking so much. Unfortunately, that was it for today. If you enjoyed this podcast, I'd greatly appreciate you to like and subscribe. To listen to this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or one of my more platforms, or to visit any of my socials, click the link in the description. And please feel free to send me an audio message or leave a comment. It's been a pleasure. Goodbye.